Okay, hey everybody. We are back here with another how-to sort of starting video for Ark Survival Evolved. We're going to be playing on the island, we'll jump in, but this will pretty much work for... won't necessarily work for these, because they have much different maps, but it'll work for the island for sure. The center, Ragnarok, Maguire, Crystal Isles, of course. So, we're going to play some single player. We're going to jump in here, but yeah, so with starting out, one of the biggest things to learn is that you are basically nothing. You as a character are basically the weakest thing on here. So I'm not sure if it'll give you the map completed. I've been around the map so I can see the map completely, and I know the map decently well, so there's that too. When you're looking for a place to spawn, usually the easy zones are exactly that. They're easy. These are going to be like your beaches, just sort of your areas where maybe you'll get a raptor or two, but for the most part, you're going to be safe here. And if you're just starting out level 1, you want to spawn here because you need that hide from the Lystros and from your dodos and stuff like that. So you definitely want to spawn here. Your medium zone is kind of like your... this is more like beach area here. You can see like kind of the inlet here, but you start to get a little more hilly. This is kind of like a crag island. This is kind of like got some rocks and stuff on it. So yeah, same for the east. You start to get a little hilly. This is kind of like a swamp area here, so you definitely want to stay out of there. And then your north zone is very difficult. This is Carno Island, Carno Mountain here, pretty much. Carno Island right here. Big spawns in here. The cold up in here. So yeah, the north hard zones are very hard, very challenging. So again, if you're just starting out, you definitely want to spawn here, even if you're not going to make a base here. Easy zones, or even some of the medium zones, if you know what you're doing, or you feel like you have an idea what you're doing. Yeah. So I think we're going to spawn. We'll spawn the first zone. So we're going to create a new character. You can randomize it. It's just going to be ridiculous for no matter what. So, yeah, this guy looks great. His chest cavity is kind of just be insane. But, yeah. And then we'll name him whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Buddy. So that'll work fine. And, yeah, I have previous survivor. That's perfectly fine, too. So, when you first spawn in, you want to kind of let it do its thing. We see some dodos there. We have the event on, so... Party dodos are in, so they're not going to give us any hide or any meat, but yeah, the first thing we want to do is we kind of want to like start picking up stuff. On computer, use E, you can pick up stuff. You can see in the right hand side there's a tiny little hand. I'll highlight it for you guys, but yeah, you can pick up stuff, and you'll notice like when you run up here, you have to be able to mine this, so you can't mine this, so it's not like a grab thing, but yeah. We'll use E to pick up some stuff and get life going here. You're gonna want to punch some trees so you can get your first set of thatch and stuff like that. Thatch and wood. And then we'll come here to our Ingrams. I'm gonna drop maybe not all this stuff because we need the stuff that we picked up. But yeah, we'll drop all the skins. But yeah, so we have our stuff here. We want to craft our first pickaxe here. We'll get it going. I like to keep mine in folder mode when it starts to get a little crazy, but yep. So we'll craft our pickaxe and we'll bring it down here to our first spot. We leveled up pretty quickly. 5 experience is basically nothing, so leveling up is really easy. Health is pretty self-explanatory. It's the amount of health you have. You can add to it to increase your health. Stamina, if you're doing anything, it takes stamina. If you're mining, if you're hatcheting away at a tree, if you're sprinting, all take stamina. Swimming takes stamina. Stamina is a good stat to keep track of, but you don't necessarily have to pump it full. Oxygen as well, just a swimming stat. You only use oxygen when you're under the water, and there's scuba and chowders and stuff like that can help extend sort of your underwater breathing. So oxygen's not really a stat I tend to touch, just like food and water. Don't tend to touch those. You'll see them going down, but water you can just drink straight from any body of water. And then food, we'll find some berries and stuff, so and then meat later on, which will be a bit easy to top that off. Weight is a big thing. Weight, obviously, how much you can carry. You can increase this with this. Melee damage also affects not only how much damage you do to creatures, but also how much damage you do to rocks when you're mining and stuff like that. So, very important here. Also affects a couple other things. But yeah, melee damage, pretty strong stat. Movement speed, definitely help you outrun those dinos that are chasing you. Crafting skill, not so important. It can speed up slightly how fast you craft stuff in your inventory. So we made that pickaxe, for example. We could speed that up as well as making it just a little bit more better, I guess. So our crafting skill is 100. This is 100. If we had a crafting skill of 150, maybe this would come out at like 130 if we were lucky. Fortitude kind of gives you an insulation, sort of like how armor and stuff will help you protect you against the weather, stuff like that. Fortitude will give you some insulation, as well as affecting how quickly your torpidity, this last number here, torpidity is basically when you get knocked out. So kind of your unconsciousness meter. Once it gets to about 50, you'll fall asleep, and you'll just be sitting there watching yourself get killed by whatever put you to sleep. So definitely be careful. I like to stat, I'm mostly a PvE player, I like to stat into health, weight, and fortitude. Those are my three main stats. I almost always put stats into this. I like to go 400 to 500 on health, about the same for weight, and then throw the rest into fortitude. So fortitude just makes life a little bit better. 400 weight, when you get to that, just makes it so that you can carry a few stacks of stuff and not be weighed down. You can carry up to 100. You can carry over 100, but you won't be able to move anywhere. That's the biggest thing. So being able to move when you're carrying stuff between different inventories and stuff like that is going to be fun. So especially starting out, I like to increase my weight, and that brings up our Ingrams. Early on, you definitely like to get these. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get first. I'll probably get the campfire first. Yeah, so with our pickaxe, we're going to come to a rock. We're going to get some flint, and then that will make it. I think we need wood and thatch still. So we'll go hit a tree without our fist on and get some wood and thatch. And break it all the way through. Perfect. And then we have just about everything for this, yeah. So again, E will just make one, or you can right click. Again, it shows you E to craft one, A to craft all. You can craft a specific amount. So yeah, we just need one, and then we're gonna press inventory, put it in our second slot. I like having it 1 and 2. Just makes it easy. You can click the button to put it back, or you can press Q also, put it away. So you can run and punch stuff. Yeah, so we see there were some party dodos over here. They're not going to give us anything that we could use right now. Again, we're kind of just collecting some stuff up. You want to just crank out levels in the beginning. Mostly just by picking stuff up. Again, you can drink if you get too hot. We leveled up again. We're going to throw it into weight here, and then that unlocks our clothing here. I don't tend to put on the cloth clothing as much, mostly because I tend to die a lot in the beginning. That's one thing as an ARK player you're gonna have to learn to deal with, is just losing everything. I'm closing in on 1,600 hours, which sounds like a lot, but there's definitely people that have way more than me. But yeah, if you want to swim down, you just look down, press NW, and you'll swim down. Spacebar will bring you up to the surface, but you can't jump. This is a supply crate. Obviously, you see I need level 25 to open it. But there's a bunch of different colors. We can maybe see some, maybe not. It's a fresh world. So, but yeah, these are supply crates. The big thing in the clouds over there and back there, and way far in the back, those are called obelisks. We'll have to get into those a little bit later, but they are very good at helping you kind of orient yourself in the map. So we know there's one over there. We know there's one here. If we can kind of triangulate our position off of those, we can kind of get an idea of where we're going. Again, I have the map all the way unlocked, so I can see a lot, but yeah. Big thing we also want to get going is grabbing some fiber and grabbing some berries from these bushes. Again, we'll get the hand when we can do it, but pretty much any of these grass things that are big and in your way, you can definitely use them. And these can even get pretty big. They kind of look like these trees. So yeah, as you sort of progress in your game for Ark, you'll find that, for example, that bird there is really annoying. That bird there that looks like a duck, not so annoying. The parasaurs in the back, really harmless, as well as the turtles and the trikes and stuff. You'll find out. The biggest thing is just to be aware of what happens. So, for example, I know if I run up on these trikes, it's gonna be fine. I can even bump into them. It's fine. They don't do anything. If I punched him, he would try to kill me. The turtle, same thing. I could run up to him, bump into him. It's fine. If I punch them, they try to fight me. The parasaurs, bump into them, fine. If I punch them, they run away. So that's a big difference. So we're level 3. We're kind of still waiting for more levels. We should be picking up stuff as constantly, but if we get the hat, we can kind of crank out some levels a little more fast. So I like to just grab a handful of fiber and then craft all. It only takes fiber to make the hat. 10 fiber. We see the crafting requirements right above our character. We can see how much fiber we need per, but we get about 2 experience? 1 experience. 1 experience per. But at this low level, it's really good. So, more weight. I like to get to like 150, 200 before I kind of slow down on that. And then, yeah, we're starting to get our building supplies here. Get the sleeping bag for sure. It's kind of a respawn point. And then this is our first sort of base materials we can get. So you'll notice we have 3 engram points left. We spend it there. Points available down here on the bottom left also. And yeah, we want to kind of make it so that we have a little base. So we unlocked a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of stuff in our inventory, but we have a bunch of this crafting stuff. The sleeping bag requires hide, which is again why we spawned here. We want to be in the best place possible. To get some hide as easy as we can. Again, this is a parasaur right here. We have 1 more hat in our bottom right. Let's go show this off. So, yep, we can see parasaur level 12. We can bump into him, doesn't matter. We punch him, he's gonna run away. We punch that trike, it tries to kill us. But okay, so we got a bunch of stuff in here. It's really a mess. We can go to this to sort by alphabetical, and then that sort of lines up everything a lot better. We can use the search bar to kind of create specific filters. We can use the drop all to drop all those cloth hats, for example. So we can double check, see that it dropped all the cloth hats, and we're not messing with that. Another way you could deal with it, for example, with these berries, we can drop it with O. So we just toss them on the ground. It puts them in these little bags, and these little bags have 2 minutes on them. These bags have 30 minutes on them, so much better. If you're maybe not sure or you need some time and get a little too heavy, you could drop it in a big bag and run back and get back there with no problems. So, yep, very cool. Yeah, so we have our berries here. We can just slam back a bunch of them. It will slowly come up. You see it going. And then we can also see in the right hand side, if we give it some contrast, we can see that our food bar goes up slightly. Perfect. One of the things that we need to check on our actual stats is if we hold H, we can see the exact numbers of it. This makes it a lot easier. And then in the top left, we can also see the day, hour level. If we're writing on a tame, we can see the tame's level. And then we can see the temperature and the time. The time is really important. Time makes it so that if we know nighttime is coming and we want to get back because it's going to be hard to see, then it kind of gives us a heads up. So one of the things that we can get started on is get started on the base. So we need the foundation, we'll put walls around it, and we'll put a little doorway on it. So we know this area is safe, we don't mind this area, so yeah, we're going to put up some foundations and stuff now. So we see Sarka there, we know that they're aggressive. Again, if you don't know, you can very easily find out. The biggest thing is just remembering. Remembering what happens when you run up on certain things, what happens, what happens for what actions. It's not too bad. Arc is a lot, so if you're, if you're worried about losing your stuff, maybe rethink, because this is a game where you could lose everything really quickly, and this is just PvE. Again, like I said when we were loading in, as a character, you're very weak. Humans, not very strong. You can obviously get to the point where you can be a little bit stronger, but the dinos are forever going to be much, much stronger. So when you're thinking about taking on certain dinos, if you're unsure, it's better just to assume that you are not able. And if you have to deal with them, make sure you use the environment as best you can. Getting them trapped on some trees to give you a couple seconds to run away is gonna be beneficial. So we know that alligators over there. It kind of makes me want to change my mind to put my base a little bit over here, which is gonna be okay. So we'll put it over here on this little corner, and then I get started. Yeah, so this is kind of just giving you the starting idea. Again, we've been okay. We were able to see that alligator before he came on to us, so we want to make sure we give him the respect that is due. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe we'll make a 6. Maybe we'll make it a little bit wider. It's really up to you. You'll kind of progress, and you'll see once we get closer to like wood and stuff like that. You'll see how the game kind of shows you progression and everything. Your weapons and stuff like that will be progressively getting better, as well as how you trank stuff, how you knock stuff out, how you tame stuff, how you go about the map, how you fly, how you run, what you're able to ride as far as your tames and stuff like that. So the game is very progressive and has a very linear progression system with it. So there's not much changing it, and some stuff can be a little bit complicated, but really it stays all kind of in a line like it would be assumed to. One thing you'll notice is we have a level up, but we haven't put it in, but we don't have any more Ingrams. Can't put it in and get it until we put in our points. You can have more than 1 points put up, like if you don't want to put in that one quite yet, like you want to get back so you can spend some time and worry about it when you finally get it up, like away from danger and stuff like that. That's fine. There's no harm in doing something like that. So we'll just put down a bunch of foundations. It doesn't really matter. They're all kind of the same, so you don't need them to be oriented any certain way. But then we can get some more to kind of complete it. Building in the early game is really good. You get a lot of experience. Much like we were doing with the hats. If you're on the run, you can't really settle down, and let's say you spawned in a more difficult place. If you were over there, then make sure you're making hats. You want to make sure that you're constantly getting some levels and getting some experience and stuff like that. So, oh, here we are. We are stuck here. So what can you do when you're stuck? You can check out your weight, 138 over 130. Obviously, we're too heavy. We can look at crafting. Sometimes this stuff will be, you know, helpful in kind of making you lighter. You'll see that we're going down as we make one. Bling. Oh, we're going up actually. So thatch is different compared to the wood or stone. The combination of the stones and wood foundations and stuff like that, they are lighter when you make them. So this is making it heavier. But we could make a campfire, for example. That'll take out a lot. And that'll help us out. But yeah, you'll notice when you have too much, you'll just be stuck. Can't move. So that's important to know. You can just combine them together. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so we're at 138. We made this fire. It's really good. You can see the weights here. If you press Q, you can see what the name is on everything. Some people prefer that. I don't necessarily prefer that. I like to see the actual pictures. And then if I have a question like, oh, what are these? I can just hover over them. So it's your preference. We're going to place this campfire so that we get a little more, so we get a little more weight. I thought I was going to place that closer, so I like to just toss it and pick it back up, kind of like leapfrog it. We could hold shift, bring half the stack over there, and just light it. It doesn't matter. So that frees up some weight for us. We have 2 points available now, so we leveled up twice since we put our points in. Depending on what you're fighting or what you're doing, you could level up more than once. Again, we didn't get any more engrams, so you'll have to put these points in to spend them. So we did get those, and then we put in our second one, and it brings us to this. So Mortar and Pestle is super good. Again, it needs hide, we see there. So that's again when we started here. Narcotics are really good for early game. I mean, you need them constantly throughout the game, but for early game, they're really good. Get some spoiled meat and narco berries, and you can get some pretty good levels and experience off of it. We only have 4 points, so we can't get the storage box and store anything, which is okay. Oh, we're getting pushed by the parasaur. Sometimes dinos will do that. We won't get Ebola till level 9, and even then, we'll need hide, so these guys will be able to run from us until then. The biggest thing that we're going to look for is Lystros and Dodos, and maybe that thing. That's a Dilo. You'll learn to hate those. We'll put our base stuff down really fast. You'll see that they attack us, and they do damage to our stuff too. Not sure why our damage numbers aren't on here. Whoa. Attack him! Whew, we got lucky. We got very lucky. 1 HP! Oh my god! Wow, we got super lucky. We'll take it. We will take it. And we'll take his hide and raw meats. Wow, 1 HP. That's crazy. That is so crazy. So yeah, we got raw meat here. It stacks, I believe it stacks up to 20. And then we have hide here, 22 hide. Perfect. Perfect to get us started here. So we can put the raw meats on here. You'll see that this campfire has 3 spots, and we just put raw meat, and we want to get cooked meat. You'll see that after a couple minutes, when it finally finishes cooking the food, this only goes 1 at a time, but it'll make a spot. So it says 4 of 3. We see that this is here. So if we wanted to put, for example, thatch in there, we couldn't put any thatch in there. Because it has 4 spots, we have to get it down to where it has a normal amount, and then we can put more stuff in there. So it'll make space for you. But for example, when the cooked meat happens again, we can take the charcoal, we can take that. We can't put anything in here until we get it down to 3. Yeah, so I like to put the cooked meat on 3. Cooked meat is a great way to get health back. Yeah, super good. Okay, so yep, we're here. We have food cooking. Food is a great way for health, like we said. Our food is going down slowly, but if we take a little bite, it'll go up a lot, especially with meat. And it goes up a lot very quickly. Same thing with the marberries, stuff like that. We can slam back a bunch of it. We'll get the results later. Yeah. So that's basically this starting point here, where you're starting to get a base up. You got food, your hatchet, and your pick. So this is your hatchet. This is your pick. They have different things that they do, and it goes across whether you have the metal tools or not. It all kind of stems from these two. These are your 2 tools, basically. There's a few others, but they're definitely more specific. We can get into those down the line, but for right now, starting out, basically with wood, you hit it with your pickaxe, you get more thatch than wood. Whereas for this, you'll get more wood than thatch. So it kind of makes sense if you think about it. You'll definitely get more thatched from your stuff. If you're using a pickaxe to hit a tree, more wood, you'll definitely use your hatchet. But it goes for rocks too. You'll get more flint. If you hit it with your thing, you'll get stone. So that's a big thing. You'll notice that when we were fighting, we were using the hatchet. The hatchet does more damage. And then you'll notice that when we had the body there, we harvested with the hatchet so that we could get more hide. So the hatchet will give you more hide. The pickaxe will give you more meat. So just basically a general statement across the board. The pickaxe will give you more metal and rocks. There's specific metal rocks. You'll see them. They're kind of gold. But if you look at these sort of smoothed out, they're called river rocks. These can have small chances of having a little bit of metal in them. Yeah. So much different than those big rocks. These are just sort of small rounded rocks. And you can see we get some metal from them. Perfect. This will be a great starting way to get metal, and as we get a little bit higher level, we'll work on getting that metal smelted up so we can actually use it. But yeah, so a lot of the early game is just sort of getting your levels, getting higher up. Building is great for levels. Getting a door on here, getting a roof on, all really good. Getting some storage boxes in here so that you can keep your stuff safe and such. It's really good. The mortar and pestle is really good. We're gonna set it up. Hopefully, if we have enough stone. So you see we're walking really slow. We're really heavy. Let's get some more stone. More than enough. Then we can craft it again. 142. When we make this, it should be much lower. Yeah, we're out down to 110. Perfect. And we got a level. So we can keep leveling up that. Simple bed. Just the difference between the sleeping bag and the simple bed is the sleeping bag is a one-time respawn. The bed, you can spawn on it multiple times, and you can reuse it. This breaks after once. This is reusable, but it has a 5-minute cooldown on it by default, so you want to be careful. The one thing about these is that you can stack them now. So we have 12 points. We do want the bed, we do want the spyglass, but we have the sleeping bag, and we don't really have enough hide to make these. So we're gonna get something that we can use. We're gonna get the storage box so we can put stuff in it. And the spyglass is really good, but again, we won't have the crystal for it, so we'll just pick up the spark powder, and that'll be good for us for now. You get more engrams as you level up. So level 7 you only get so many, but level 60 you get a ton. So obviously in between you get more and more as well. So we can make a couple of these. It's always good to have some storage, and then we can put these down, for example, and throw some stuff in them. Obviously these things that have a little bar underneath them, the berries, they will spoil, but that's just the spoil timer for 1. So this is a stack of 68 in 4 minutes. 1 of those 68 will get spoiled, so you have 67. So that's good to know as you're going, especially like with your meats and stuff like that. You'll see down here, spoil timer is 12 minutes. Cooked meats obviously will spoil to become spoiled meat. You can use spoiled meat in here for your narcotics with your narco berries, which are your blackberries here. There's a lot that can go on. You can store stuff in here for this, but yeah, a lot going on, but you'll eventually get the hang of it as you mess with it. Again, this stuff is very important. Hide and fiber, basically when you're starting out, everything is very important, but as a general statement, that stuff is very important because it's hard to get right now. And then doing stuff like making spark powder out of flint and stone is good to stay on, because even if you're not there, you'll still get experience for it. It's not making, oh, it is. I think it's like 0.1 or 0.05 or something, but it will make a difference, especially if you're making hundreds and thousands of them. So, yep, you kind of want to stay busy through the beginning. So, again, these things are good to keep down, so you can hide your stuff in it and come back. Much like Minecraft, if you ever played that, you'll spend most of your time in the crafting area. So, want to keep the crafting pretty close together. But yeah, it is what it is. Again, this is kind of just getting you started on the right way. We're level 7, perfect. Again, just to kind of get you pushed in the right direction. You as a character are very weak. You don't have much health, and if you punch something, it's probably gonna attack you. There's very little that will just run away. You have to figure out what does what, because there's just a lot. You'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, just make sure you understand what's going on. If you're over here hitting this rock, and that trike walks up and steps in front of you, and you hit him, you're gonna have a bad time. So just be aware of your surroundings, as well as be aware of what's happening when stuff attacks you. So, yep. It is what it is. But yeah. Anyway, so I guess we'll stop there. That's a pretty information heavy video right here. If this is helpful, or if you got any value out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If if it helped you and could help your friends or whatever, feel free to share, obviously, and I will definitely keep this going, and we can make further progress as we go up. But yeah, there's just a lot of information in ARK, and going over what you need to do and how you need to do it can obviously change a lot based on what sort of happens to you. We got lucky that we got attacked, for example, and got us some hide that got us our mortar pistol. But if we would have gotten a bunch of dodos, we could have gotten, you know, maybe a sleeping bag already. But yeah, so it is what it is. One of the big things about Ark that maybe is not the same as a lot of other games is when you log out, your person is going to still be in the world. When you log out, you don't leave. Your body just goes limp, and then when you come back, you reanimate that body. So yep, you want to make sure that you're in a safe spot. Obviously, if we were playing on a PvP server, we would not be safe. We're in a brand new spot here. It's a brand new spot with open walls here. So when we log out, our body will still be here. So make sure you protect yourself. When you're offline, the server obviously shuts down unless you're on a multiplayer server and people are able to load your area that you're in which case the dinos and stuff will be moving around. So again, if you're on a multiplayer server, make sure you're safe when you log out. If you pass out on the beach, you come back in and you wonder why you're dead, that's exactly why. So yeah, Thatch is the weakest, obviously. So if people really want to get in, they can, but at least you'll be safe from most things. But yeah, so until next time, I will catch you guys later. I hope this helped you guys, and yeah, have a good day. Bye.